Good evening, everybody. We are back. The Late Night on Campus. We are live. It's Wednesday, May 10th, 2017. My name is the Big Man on Campus here with my co-host, Donnie Rightside. Donnie, It's Wednesday. How you doing tonight?
Doing good tonight. I mean, just watching some baseball games here, trying to root on a play. I seem to have a little bit of a problem here, Jeff, with 4-run leads. You know, usually in the past in football, if you get up like 21-0 in the first quarter, it's usually a good sign. Right now, for me, not so good a sign. So I'll root on the play that I have here. We'll see how it finishes up. A long way to go because bullpens will be involved, but never nice to have a 4-0 lead, I guess, in this business.
It's almost anymore like a trap. You know, you get a 4-run lead and it's like, oh, cool. And then, but like, oh, wait, oh, no. You know, it's a tough business, man. I mean, I guess you can never depend on like Tom Kohler and people like that, but pretty tough. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, you'll be fine. You know, you got plenty.
6-3 on the season coming into this one here. If I only took first 5 innings wagers, including this game here, it would be 8-1 on the season.
Yeah,
so
you'd be doing pretty good.
Interesting there.
Welcome to everyone out there. As always, we appreciate it. Feel free, subscribe if you haven't, like the show, do whatever you feel. We would appreciate you liking it, though, communicating with us, having some fun with us here. This show is dedicated to recapping the day in sports from a wagering perspective. We will get into a little bit of other things later. We'll Donnie rate our favorite pitchers to fade and pitchers to bet on. We'll also discuss some bullpens that we personally enjoy fading as well. We'll get into a couple of other things as well, and have some fun with you guys here on the chat box. So I guess today's going to be the Buster Posey hour. Listen, we're going to discuss that. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. We're going to talk about that on next roundtable. Obviously, maybe I said it the wrong way. I will just say this. As far as a catcher, he's probably the best catcher in baseball right now. You would definitely not have an argument with me there. The problem is there aren't many good catchers anymore. It's not that difficult to be the best catcher. That's what I'm trying to say. And when I think of baseball, Donnie, I don't think of Buster Posey. That was more my point. I'd much rather have Bryce Harper. I'd much rather have Mike Trout. I'd much rather have a top flight pitcher. It's easy to get a catcher. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, catcher might be one of the hardest things to get. What, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
but
it's
a good catcher that you would take.
But a catcher's not going to win you games. That's what I'm trying to say.
He's an MVP candidate. He's got multiple rings. He obviously wins games.
Okay, I'm not denying that he's a good player for sure. I don't think he's a superstar. That's all.
He's got national commercials that he's on. He does. I mean, that says I'm a star in my league, right?
Yeah, listen,
in a huge market.
I don't think San Francisco's not a huge market.
San Francisco's not a huge market now. Come on. It's bigger than Philadelphia. What's Philadelphia, a tiny market?
Okay. Donnie, clearly we don't agree here. I don't think a superstar. I don't think
brought it up. I mean, he is clearly a superstar, headed to the Hall of Fame, multiple rings, national spokesman for people. That says star in Major League Baseball.
It's not that hard to be the best catcher in baseball. They're not that many.
But he is a star. All you have to do is say he's a star, and we're good. He's a baseball star. He's a star in baseball. He's an all-star.
He's a star catcher. That's what I'll say. I don't think of Buster Posey when I think of baseball. That's all I'm trying to say. But we'll chat about that at another time. As far as things going on tonight, let's jump into it.
Yes.
Before actually, no, we'll wait after we break down baseball to talk about it. Actually relates to baseball, so we'll speak about that. At the end of the day, Donnie, one thing we can agree on, bullpens are a fucking mess right now. And I guess I'll kind of lead this. I don't really ever lead this segment, so I guess I'll do it. First things first, White Sox in Minnesota was postponed today. Seems to be a lot of postponements, Donnie, lately on baseball. But again, early April, May, you're going to have some inclement weather a lot of the time with some of the thunder storms and things like that.
Yeah, it hasn't quite warmed up yet. One would think it would be warmer, especially on the East Coast. I mean, we're battling like the low 60s all week, and I guess it's just, same thing across the country, just an interesting pattern here.
Yeah, for sure. Mariners, Phillies led the day off, Donnie. Another high-scoring affair here. This one goes over the 9 runs. Last night went over fairly easily. I mean, you look at this game, 27 hits between both teams. The Phillies pitching staff continues to be one of the glaring problems in baseball. I've said it, Donnie, and I think you can agree. there's just not a lot of heavy, big-name guys on this roster, and it's been a problem. They are not getting people out late in games. Their starters aren't going too deep. Other than Hellickson, they're having some issues.
Yeah, no, Phillies certainly. I mean, this gets back to, Jeff, one of the very first times that we actually talked baseball going forward, where I would just lay into the Phillies daily. It's a minor league run organization at the top level in a big market. The AAA team would kick the shit out of the major league team, and that's where you have a problem. When your AAA team is better than your major league team, that's a problem. That means you're cheap, you're not run the right way, and it's a disaster, and everybody should go in the front office if they don't think the same way. So I'm always going to be on that same plane with the Phillies until they open up and start buying some players, but at least bring the young kids up. Ooh, it might cost you an extra $300,000 this year to bring the young kids up and start their clock. So what?
Now, Donnie, I'm not being confrontational here. I'm just asking. You really believe that the AAA team could beat the major league team?
I do. The AAA lineup will out-hit the major league lineup 9 out of 10 days. That is right.
By the way, I have to review something you stated earlier. You actually think that San Francisco is a big baseball market? Like you're
a monster market. San Francisco is the 4th largest market, I believe, in the country, and we're the 5th.
It's actually one of the smallest. Actually, Philadelphia is way bigger.
Get at it. Hold on.
Markets of more than 10 million people, the New York Mets and the Angels. Markets of 5 to 10. You know where San Francisco is? 1 to 2 million people. Way lower.
Largest cities in U.S. Let's see.
As far as baseball markets, it's one of the lowest in the league. It
can't be, Jeff. It has 2 teams. It can't be the lowest market. It has 2 teams out there. It's enormous, San Francisco.
It's on the level of Cincinnati, Kansas City, Milwaukee.
Not even close. Now you don't even know what you're talking about.
According to baseballalmanac.com, actually, it is, Donnie. And I can send you the link if you want to take a look at it.
So Cincinnati is a bigger market than San Francisco.
I'm just reading what it says. 2
football teams and 2 baseball teams.
I just sent you the article. I'm just reading what it says. That's all. But yeah, that's an interesting point by you, Donnie, that about the AAA team. You might be right, to be honest.
I'm telling you, the top six players in their AAA farm system are ready to come up and would replace the top 6 in the Phillies. I mean, obviously, Maikel Franco is a good player. He just is awful this year. Odubel Herrera is a Major League Baseball player. Outside of that, they can all go. I mean, Cesar Hernandez is a decent ball player. You know, one of those tool guys, Jeff. You know, every team needs one. You know, you can fill in at second base, short. You can even get some third base in, do whatever you need to do. He's a solid player, but the kids in AAA need to be up here straight up.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a while. I mean, that's no secret, I don't think. Houston gets the job done at home again against Atlanta. I don't think Jamie Garcia was bad. Musgrove was just better. Big 2-out double in the 5th inning by Carlos Correa. And Donnie, the Houston Astros, the best 34-game win-loss mark in their history. So they are really starting to gain steam, which I think most of us figured they would.
That lineup's good every single night. I mean, it doesn't even matter when they sub a guy in or out or somebody's going to take the night off. Their 1 through 9 is fantastic. We always talk about that.
Yeah, if they can, just continue to pitch well, McCullers can kind of come in to, be that second or third starter. If they can continue to get stuff out of Morton, maybe even pick up a pitcher at the deadline. This is a very good team. I actually picked them to go pretty far. I still think Cleveland will turn it up and be they'll be right there at the end, but it's going to be an interesting summer for sure. Colorado blanks the Chicago Cubs, and what many would agree was probably the surprise of the day. A German Marquez, who I'm not sure I thought belonged in the league, gives up just 3 hits and goes to the 9th inning where Greg Holland came in to save it. What is up, Donnie, with the Cubs? The hangover. I mean, I guess it's one of those things. You win the World Series, you party, and you just don't come back as strong. I mean, what you would like their linchpin to be last year was their starting pitcher in their bullpen. Jake Arrieta was a hammer last year. He's struggling. Kendricks, a hammer last year. He's struggling. Lackey's getting ripped up. They're not getting that hitting that they were used to getting last year. I mean, Chris Bryant's been good. Rizzo's been good. I mean, the usual suspects, but one would have thought they would have had one of those quick rides right off the bat. They haven't. They're struggling. And St. Louis is picking up the bat. So you can have a questionable division race here all of a sudden. Yeah, no offense, Guam, but it wasn't Hendricks' fault today. I mean, they couldn't score. I mean, this team had 3 hits. Hendricks is, look, I think we could, say he's overrated, maybe a stretch, just because he had such a great year last year. Yeah. He's not going to eclipse what he did last year. But, Donnie, I think Hendricks might be their best pitcher overall, maybe right now.
Yeah,
he's the guy
I
that
would still give the nod to Lester at this point, but Arrieta, man, I don't know what's going on. He was filthy the past couple of years, just really struggling right
yeah,
now.
you can't blame
Yeah.
this on Hendricks. Hendricks is fine. I mean, he only gave up. I think he only gave up 5 hits.
Yeah, if you get shut out in Colorado, you can't be blaming the pitcher for anything.
Yeah, he only gave up 2 runs. He's been very serviceable this year. And in Coors, I mean, he's only given up 3 earned runs in 2 starts in Coors. So,
Yeah.
yeah, for me, this is solely on that lineup today. They just weren't good enough. The San Francisco Giants, who we've talked about at length today, they actually come back and get the job done against the Mets. And, Donnie, the free fall continues for the New York Mets. Yet another loss. With the lead. I mean, you look at how many pitchers they used in this game. I think close to 10, if I'm correct here. 8, actually. Sorry. Tommy Malone, actually, surprisingly, Donnie, was fairly effective.
He was good. He was. He worked in and out a little bit of damage there, gave up the 1 solo home run. You're right, though. There was nothing wrong with his start today. That's for sure.
But Uris Familia comes in, and he's overall been a pretty good closer over the years for this team, but he has those games where he just can't get anyone out. Today was your game like that. He only goes a third of an inning, gives up 3 earned runs and 2 hits over that time period. So, yeah, another tough loss for the New York Mets. They weren't particularly efficient with runners in scoring position. They had 11 hits. They scored enough runs, but your bullpen blew it again, and yet another over for the New York Mets. I believe they are now 21-8 to the over this year, which that's pretty amazing. So that's a trend you might want to take a look at. But
yeah, I had the team total over 3.5 that I gave out today on the roundtable. An interesting one about that, Jeff, is if you look at the game on its end in the 9th inning, you can blame that on Familia. He didn't settle down, didn't do what he needed to do. But there was a double play ball that was booted, and they didn't even get an out on that play, which directly led to that big inning. Mets actually should have. If you backed the Mets today and Malone, you should have had a victory. It just got snatched from you. That's a shame.
Yeah, he actually, surprisingly was pretty good. We'll get this out of the way. We know we don't really talk much hockey, but from the looks of it, Donnie, it looks like the Pittsburgh Penguins have advanced. I guess that will anger some people, but hey.
Big dog tonight too, Jeff, rolling around at like plus 155, plus 160 in some spots out there. So not many expected them to win. If I take a look at maybe the breakdown or split out there, it's actually pretty even out there. 53% of the tickets on the money line coming in on Washington, but that was certainly a big number that they covered, and kudos to them. Stayed well under the number, Jeff, of 5.5 also.
Yeah, they again, it looks like the Capitals, I don't have to be a hockey aficionado to know that they are just not getting it done in the playoffs. And great point. What a bad night for DC area sports. The Nationals are losing.
Jason, here's the bullpen for you, Jeff. I hate to break it up. I'm just watching it live there. 6-4 now. Washington's coming back. They just hit a solo shot. Jason Worth in the 9th. Nobody out. 6-5 now. Baltimore, Washington. So again, we talked about Baltimore having that good bullpen coming into even today, somewhere around that 2 ERA. What was this lead? Maybe 6-2 at one point. Now it's 6-5. So just straight up giving it up left and right out there.
Yeah, I think early, even last night we were talking about it. I mean, the general consensus around the Baltimore Orioles is, they might not have a great rotation, but their bullpen's very good. Right now, Zach Britton's out for an extended period of time. Their long man, he's out for an extended period of time. They've had injuries. And listen, Michael Givens, hard thrower, but he has some issues at times. Alec Asher, the former Philly, he's now in the bullpen. Donnie Hart, your namesake there, Don. He throws sidearmed, and that's always concerning. But yeah, their bullpen's been good, but it has shown some issues lately. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, the Wizards lose also. We'll see what happens here in the Baltimore Washington game.
Yeah, Bryce Harper's up, so that's never a good scenario. At least there's nobody on that one. Yeah. Yep, Capitals were minus 3,000 to score a goal tonight, Jeff. Do you think anybody out in Vegas laid $3,000 on there just to pick up some cheap money there?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? It was a lock. How many people do you think lost in the Cubs today?
I bet you a lot. I mean, that line was certainly set up there that didn't move at all, and a heavy, heavy number of people were on the Chicago Cubs today. But that's an interesting one. I mean, if you said, I'm going to back Colorado today, it's strictly that you're going to be a contrarian on that because Germán Márquez isn't exactly showing a lot of hype at this point. But, I mean, you shut the Cubs out at Colorado. That's amazing.
Interesting night for the Tampa Bay Rays. They hammer the Kansas City Royals. The season just gets worse for the powder blue and white. They give up 12 runs, 16 hits. Jason Hamill goes 7, giving up 7 earned runs and 13 hits. This is one of those games, Donnie, where it was pretty much over. So they're like, you know what, we'll just leave him in. It can't get much worse, I guess. But it actually did get worse. Peter Moylan comes in and gives up 5 earned runs in 1 inning. And it was a rout was on, Donnie, in this one. The season just gets worse for the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just there's no heads up of this. It's almost to the point where you get back to when you look at the Kansas City Royals, Jeff, a lot of free agents on that team, a lot of guys looking to cash in and get paid. One might, move it. They were even talking about early on the broadcast here in the Washington Nationals game, if their struggles in center field in center field continue, maybe Lorenzo Cain's an option for them there and just, sell bits and pieces off there if you're not looking to re-sign those guys.
Yeah, they they kind of run you a little bit. Well, not really. They're kind of a mini version, but the Phillies, in a way, when they won, you kind of have that namesake group that you kept. They're all still fairly young, but they just don't have that same luster, Donnie. I mean, you look at some of these guys.
Bryce Harper, Jeff, doubles down the line, so that bullpen continues here, big man.
Yeah, they're going to give up some runs, and Brad Brock has normally been pretty effective, but it's never easy against the Nationals. But Donnie, this is what's so amazing about the little losing streak I'm on here. It's just amazing. I mean, every night the Nationals score 5 or more runs. I backed them last night. Can't do it.
And extra innings as well, right?
Listen, here's another. This is unbelievable. This is another one. I'm going to blow your mind.
Yep.
Last night I had a personal play. I took the Mets-Giants over.
Yeah.
They've gone over literally more than anyone in baseball last night. Yep. Don't go over. Tonight, don't miss a beat. Go over again. Amazing. That's the kind of streak I'm on right now. Just utterly amazing. But back to the action, Donnie. Cleveland and Toronto. Weird game here. 14 runs in 4 innings, and they haven't scored since, Donnie.
That's MO in that one. You would think if one team got staked to a huge lead, especially Salazar against, a lowly, one would think be a lowly lineup there of Toronto, they'd be able to shut the door, but certainly leaking back. And one of those interesting stats in that game, Liriano, without having Russell Martin at his catcher, is just absolutely abysmal. I mean, you talk about a pitcher-catcher batter that needs to stay together. Jeez.
Yeah, it was 7-3 heading into the bottom of the third. That was the last run the Cleveland Indians scored. And, you're going to the bottom of the ninth, coming up here for the Blue Jays with a chance to win it. Weird game, a lot of runs, but they just kind of stopped scoring. San Diego and Texas in a barn burner, 3-3 down at Globe Life Park. Yu Darvish against who was it today for San Diego?
Perdomo, wasn't it?
Luis Perdomo, who is still in the game. Bottom of the 6th. I thought this game was a little bit later. Donnie, Jonathan Lucroy, you would say he's probably the second best catcher in baseball, right?
I like Lucroy, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would go Yachty. I mean, Yachty's way up there too.
I guess right now, maybe. Lucroy, pretty nice bat, I guess. Maybe not this season, but either way, he kind of stunned everyone last year by not going to Cleveland and going to Texas.
Those guys were the fans not too happy about that one either.
Do you think if he could have made the decision, he would have did it again over?
I don't know. To be honest, Jeff, I don't know why he didn't do it. What was his reasoning behind that? I just want to play warmer weather. Like you're going to a team that's going to make a run at a title. You think that's what most major leaguers would want?
With a great pitching staff, a great coach, a good bullpen, a winning ways again, a good lineup, a city that's lately been winning some championships. Why wouldn't you want to go there? I don't get it. He almost, kind of just spurned them and said, you know what, I'm going to go to Texas, which I don't know. Yeah, it was definitely weird. One of the more surprising things I remember from last year, Detroit with a 1-0 lead, Donnie, bottom 3 out in Arizona. If you remember, I gave out the first 5 money line as my play of the day over at SBR. So I'm sure Arizona will score coming up here. That's imminent, I'm sure. Milwaukee, I mentioned I like them as well. They have a nice lead, and they just scored again against my man Kyle Kendrick, Donnie. My friend.
Light him up.
Dude, this is Kyle Kendrick. In this 5th inning, Donnie, Keon Broxton double, Eric Thames double, Ryan Braun single, and then Travis Shaw comes up and grounds out 4-2 Milwaukee. Let's keep it up, boys.
Productive outs.
Donnie, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Before we get into some of the other things that we're doing tonight, we were talking about Buster Posey at length. We've been talking about MLB players all day.
Yes.
I came up with a list, and I want to share this list with the listeners, and I want everyone to think of this as an overall career, and if you would take them over Buster Posey. I just want to put this into perspective. It's clear we would probably take Kershaw over him, Bryce Harper, Madison Bumgarner, Chris Bryant, Giancarlo Stanton.
I don't know if I would take Stanton over him, to be honest. I mean, I like the big home runs and all that stuff, but what he does, he might be a toss up on that one.
He might not be that 5-tool player. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
This one, it might take you by surprise, and let's leave the off the field stuff out of it. I'm just looking at player as a player because this guy's had an amazing career. Ryan Braun. You can't knock the career he's had, Donnie.
I love Ryan Braun. Yeah.
292 home runs.
Yeah.
He'll have 1,000 RBIs by the end of his year this year, an overall 304 hitter. Overall, Johnny Cueto, he's had a very good career as well.
Yeah. I don't know if I would take Cueto, but I would definitely look at Ryan.
Maybe.
If Ryan Braun wasn't popped for juice, he's probably on a trajectory where he was headed to the Hall of Fame too.
Now, Donnie, I'm saying over their career, you would say, right now, I think Ryan Braun is, I don't know, maybe you're right.
Close.
Again,
close one.
Yeah, and you can't count out the juice stuff. Now, again, I only picked NL players. There's a lot of AL players as well.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman, overall, and what he can be. This guy's pretty good, Donnie, over his career.
It's interesting. One interesting thing with Freddie Freeman I was actually surprised with is why Atlanta's moving forward. And I know he's not a spring chicken, but he's not an old guy. The package that you could get for that guy, man.
Well, I think they came in the league around the same time, if I'm correct. Him and
Buster Posey, 2010, around there. Yeah, it's probably about the same. You're probably
right.
I
think they have similar numbers. I don't know when exactly they came in, but it was right around the same time. And then one other one. I got to admit, still to this day, I think some of those kids up in New York, whether it's Syndergaard or DeGrom, they're pieces that you can build around, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know if I can go there just yet because, again, injuries and stuff, and you have to prove it big time. But, if Syndergaard turns out to be an ace and has a 10-year career, sure, you're always going to take – the ace is the hardest thing to find in baseball amongst anything, yes.
Getting late in the UK. Have a good show. Thank you, Sam. Welcome in. Please tell us who you support. I'd love to know in football. Before we get to soccer, Donnie, the Champions League final is set, and it will be quite the match. We got to get you betting this game, Donnie. We got Real Madrid against Juventus. Who do you think's the favorite, Donnie?
When is this game, by the way?
June 3rd.
June 3rd. Real. I'm gonna go. It's Real Madrid versus Juventus. You said.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go. Real Madrid's probably the favorite here.
They are the slight favorite at -130 at 5 dimes. I'm sitting, guys, on a 10-1 ticket for Juventus to win the tournament. So we will look into hedging, I'm sure. But it's going to be a great Champions League final nonetheless. Donnie, what do you have going on?
Walk-off winner for the Washington Nationals.
There you go. So it's not all bad this tonight for the fans of the Washington sports teams. They get a win.
Take some solace, yeah.
Donnie, didn't I say it? Didn't I say Arizona would score right on cue?
Actually, I just saw that thing pop up. What was it, a solo shot?
Yeah.
From Nick Ahmed of all people too, right?
Oh, yeah. Nick Ahmed, probably one of the worst hitters in the major leagues. A guy, a 222 career hitter. Not surprising.
He's Sam Munn. Unfortunately, I'm a Liverpool fan. Is Liverpool, Jeff, you'll never walk alone?
I'm actually a Liverpool supporter myself. I just got my shirt in the mail. Yes, yes, you'll never walk alone. Correct. Yeah. Which I think we could agree on chance. It's probably the best in the world. I have
a funny story with that. You brought that up and sent that to me the other day. Back in the mid-'90s when I was working at a bar in northern New Jersey, there was one English guy who came in all the time. And, Jeff, he would sing it at the top of his lungs at 1 a.m. when he got drunk about that. And you would ask him about – and this is way back when you didn't know anything – ask him about Manchester United, and he would literally curse up a storm at the bar. It's the one thing I remember. Never watched EPL in my life at that point, but this guy was a Liverpool fan and would sing every night, "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Yeah, I always loved Steven Gerrard, so I always, he was always a Liverpool man, and I just always, it's a song that a lot of clubs use, but it's always been a
Mhm.
Liverpool thing. Do you know?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the video on how they got that song, Donnie?
No, I did not. Nope.
There's some on YouTube. You should watch it. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, there's nothing unfortunate about that, Sam. They're having a tough year, but they're still right there. Donnie, let's get into some other things here tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously, we
Yep.
get a lot of people bring up to us like, what bullpens do you like? What starters do you like? What do you who you betting on? What pitchers are you betting on? So we kind of came up with a little bit of a list here, Donnie. You have some,
Hmm.
I have some
Yeah. Yep.
pitchers that I
Sure.
personally look to bet on and bet on against, or bet against. I'm sorry. So I guess we'll kind of just chat about this here. Look, it's no secret as far as fade pitchers, Donnie. Some of the names. I mean, Bartolo Colon for obvious reasons, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you look at some of the kind of the guys off the grid. Kyle Kendrick, I mean, a prime example. He's pitching tonight. He's pitching as we speak, Donnie.
Yeah.
Kyle Kendrick is a guy that was on that Phillies World Series team, if I can remember correctly. He wasn't even in that rotation because he was so bad. But he's bounced around. He's been in and out of Pawtucket down in AAA. He's just dead. I mean, he's been in the league for a long time now, and he just can't throw anymore. You look at every time he pitches, it's been bad.
Yeah, not much giving up there. I mean, in pitchers in baseball, what you look for, even if they're struggling, you have to have an out pitch, a strikeout pitch, maybe a power pitcher. If you have a guy that's just looking to pitch to contact, you're going to get yourself in trouble in baseball. That's for sure.
Yeah, he didn't even pitch last year. 2015, an ERA above 6. He's really never had a shutdown career, other than maybe 1 or 2 years. But he's a guy that I definitely look to fade. Right now he's a mess. Your
Yeah.
boy Selman, who we've talked about, I know you hate him. He's a guy.
Yeah, when does he come back up on the? I didn't look at any Major League Baseball tomorrow. He's got to be coming up pretty soon back on the.
Well, the thing is, I don't think he is because. Well, actually, yes, he has to because there's no Syndergaard. Yeah, I don't know, Donnie. That's a good
No,
question.
he's in their rotation. I'm going to enjoy when he
Might
pops
be
up
tomorrow.
again. That's for sure.
Might
Yeah,
be
I think the Mets are off tomorrow, Jeff. I don't have them on the.
because I know Harvey's on
docket.
Friday. So, yeah,
That's their next game. They're in Milwaukee, I believe, on Friday. Yes, they have the day off tomorrow.
his next game is the 12th. Wait, that's their next game. I'm sorry. So it'll be. I think he's Saturday.
Yeah, he might be. That's another Saturday special. We might have to look at. I'll circle my calendar there. And Jeff,
Yeah,
I mean, come on, Selman or G Selman, whatever it is, Silent G. He's going to be in that hitting environment in Milwaukee. Give me a full go lineup for Milwaukee. We're gonna have some fun with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I that's why I bet on Milwaukee tonight. I like that. I like that Kendrick matchup. They get Selman back to back over the weekend. A couple other ones, Donnie. Tom Kohler is a guy for me. You look at Tom Kohler. Does Tom Kohler ever not give up 4 runs? It seems like
he got squeezed. He got squeezed a little bit tonight, but he wasn't on his game. And the worst part about it is, from a pitching standpoint, I understand if you're a little bit wide, a little bit shaky, but if you're going to walk like 1 or 2 guys an inning, and especially walk leadoff batters, you're going to get roughed up in this league. The people that pitch to contact, work around batters, typical example in that is Miguel Gonzalez. Doesn't throw that hard, but nibbles the corners, very accurate, like a Greg Maddux-like pitcher. You can get away with that. But if you're just going to walk people in Major League Baseball and then throw the ball right down the middle on 3-1 counts, you're going to get destroyed.
Right. Interesting development out in Milwaukee, Donnie. That inning is still going on. Kendrick is now out of the game. They had first and second. Travis Shaw steals third, and error by Christian Vasquez. He comes in to score. Hernan Perez comes up. It's now 6-2 Milwaukee in the bottom of the 5th. Tom Kohler, Jeff Locke, kind of on the same level for me. Jeff Locke, right? He's a guy that I've always bet against as well. One other one, Josh Tomlin. Every time Josh Tomlin pitches, I bet against him. He's been a mess. Gives up home runs like historically bad. It's pretty crazy. Donnie, last year he gave up more home runs than he had walks.
Who did? Which pitcher?
Josh Tomlin.
Man.
Pretty crazy.
That's pitching to contact.
Since World War II, no one has ever done that.
Oh, Jesus. And he's still in baseball.
Zach Davies against Selman on Saturday. That should be fun. Jeff Locke plays for the Marlins now. He's, from what I heard, they were considering looking into him a little bit, just because Kohler
and pitching. Where does he doing? Is he on the DL? I haven't
I believe
seen him
he is
even
on the
come up as a
DI.
starter yet.
I think he had an injury.
Yeah.
He pitched well in his first rehab assignment, from what their blog says. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, he's always been a guy, Jeff Locke, who has struggled.
Yeah.
Donnie, who do you fade? Who are you fading?
Fade pitchers for me right now. I mean, it starts with, again, tonight, which, again, outside of Russell Martin being his catcher, he's just a complete gas can on the mound. Francisco Liriano.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help when you have a team that's not really backing you or helping you out. He got bailed out tonight, and he was getting laced early. And somehow this game is 7-7 now, so he's off the hook for a loss, but not off the hook for his ERA. Second guy, Jeff, the guy we see and making a ton of money out there, fat, out of shape, just bleeding out there each and every time, is CC Sabathia. It's only going to get worse. I mean, when he's pitching in Yankee Stadium with a slight wind blowing out and it's 90 degrees, he's literally going to melt like chocolate out there right on the mound and just be done with them. And you could just, brush him off the mound and just, get him going in that. But that's number 2. I don't see how he goes forward. Number 3 from
Donnie,
a pricing standpoint. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just ask you about CC for a minute?
Yeah.
I wanted you to hear me out on why I give him a pass.
Yeah.
He's been in the league since 2000. It is, and that was when he came into the league. He's been, pitching for a long time. I just think at this point he's kind of worn out,
No, that's what I mean. It's like you can't even, like, the word I'm trying to use is it's not really his fault because the Yankees still push him out there, and they push him out there primarily why? He has a huge paycheck. Yeah. Are you just going to cut him loose? So you just say, hey, you're a lefty. Can you give us some innings? It's one thing, Jeff, if he could go like 4 innings, give up like 1 earned run and be like, hey, you tried out there. But I mean, he's just getting lit from the start, where when you have a Yankees team that I don't know how many people expected a ton out of them, all you need to do is start the game and give you an honest effort. It seems like when he starts, like you're just right behind the 8 ball, and behind the 8 ball bad, like 3-4 runs down by the second inning.
Yeah, he's had like these times where like he'll go 3 or 4 starts where he'll just look fantastic, and it'll be like, oh wait, maybe this is vintage CC again when he was with the Brewers or whoever. And
remember when he was with the Brewers? I mean, give me he was damn near saying, give me the ball every day. I'll pitch every game this week. Seemed, 2-day rest and dominating.
When for me it seemed to change for him. I don't know if you remember this, but when Shane Victorino hit that grand slam off him, I feel like he was never the same after that.
Yeah, they got him good in that one. Yep.
That
was his miracle run. I mean, he made and kudos to him. He made a ton of money off that, as he should have. How many people would actually do this, Jeff? A pitcher who's scheduled to be a free agent, give me the ball like every other day. Nobody would. Matt Harvey would have sat out. Syndergaard would have sat out. Strasburg would have sat out and said, "No, I'm a free agent. Like I'm not. I'm going to go every 5th day, and that's that."
I remember when he was like on 3 days rest, he's like, yeah, let me pitch.
And he was amazing. It was one of the greatest runs for a pitcher, which, again, the Yankees paid him. They got some good years out of him. It's time to go now, but that's just what it is.
Yeah. Matt Moore's a good one. He's definitely having issues. Do you guys like A.J. Cole? I mean, there's not a lot I can say on A.J. Cole. He's only pitched once or twice. But I know they're hoping he's going to be something because Rodrigo Lopez had kind of struggles last year. Jeff Samardzija, Jeff Samardzija
is on my list too. One of Philly is on my list also for a fade. That's Jared Eichhoff. I mean, he finally gets some run supports, gets destroyed. You just look at the games. He's just not what you like in a fade pitcher is a guy when you look at the game and you say, there's no way he goes through 5 innings and doesn't give up at least 3 runs. To me, that's just pouring gasoline on the fire. There's other guys, obviously aces when you have a Chris Sale on the mound, he's going to dominate and everybody knows that. But when you have a gas can who you say, I hope he gets through a couple innings, that's what I look for is a gas can or a fade.
Yeah. Shelby Miller, I definitely don't put on there. He's still, again, he's close, though, to getting to the point where it's like, I'm just not interested anymore, but he's been injured so much. Clay Buchholz, that's a great one. I try to keep injured people off here, but Clay Buchholz would definitely be on that list. Let's go over, Donnie, to a couple pitchers that we like to bet on, that we look for. Obviously, the ace for me, Chris Sale. I didn't want to say Kershaw, but Chris Sale is just, one of my favorite pitchers, just the way he throws. He throws so hard. He has had a problem, Donnie, in his career with run support, whether it was with Chicago or with the Red Sox, but truly a great signing. That's the guy you want on your team as like a cornerstone. What do you think about Chris Sale?
I love Chris Sale. I mean, it's amazing to me, Jeff, that what's his pay right now? Like 10 or 12 million, whatever he's making, and he's locked in for like 3 or 4 years. I'm surprised that I know Yoan Moncada went from Boston over to the White Sox, and he's going to be a big time player, one would hope. But to get an ace pitcher like Chris Sale, like even for look at the White Sox start this year. Imagine if you add Chris Sale to that team. I mean, they have a legitimate shot to make a run, and maybe they're trade deadline winners where they can go out and make a move and get a couple bats and a couple more players. But what a shift in balance sending him to the Boston Red Sox. And it's not like a $30 million pitcher. It's not like Greinke. It's not like, Clayton Kershaw, what they're getting paid. He's getting paid a fraction of them and giving you the same overall results from, Kershaw to Sale, so to speak.
Yeah, I guess they could just hope that, David Price can come back and be really good for them because, then they can go on a run with two pitchers up at the top. They're just so talented. This guy may regress. Again, I got to feel like that start he just had, maybe he, kind of goes off the tracks. But Irvin Santana, who we've talked about, Donnie, 9 earned runs in 47 innings, opponents turning 135 off him. And what's been so amazing with Irvin Santana, he doesn't even have base runners, a .79 whip, which is just fantastic. And for anyone who doesn't know, whip is walks and hits per inning pitch. So, there's just no traffic. He's going through innings quick. Irvin Santana has been a must bet, Donnie.
No, he's been good. I know he got roughed up a little bit in his first start, but you can't go through the entire season. Same thing tonight with Lance Lynn on the mound. I mean, I don't think he gave up more than 2 runs his past 4 starts combined. Gets destroyed in the first inning. I mean, it's Major League Baseball. There's professional hitters on the other side. They're going to tag you, and especially in the American League, you're not getting any days off because you're facing full lineups, no pitchers. And that's just the way it is. So,
that's a great point. I heard someone on today, I forget what show it was on or who it even was. Maybe, I don't even know. But somebody was saying Wade Miley it sucks. He was off a horrible start. Wade Miley's been fantastic lately. I mean, he had one.
He should have got the win tonight and got a loss.
And he got kicked. And he got knocked
at least in no decision.
And he got knocked out of the game. It wasn't his fault. He got hit by 2-line drives, batter to batter.
Get clocked.
It wasn't his fault. Wade Miley's been a fantastic pitcher and one outing, and it wasn't even his fault.
Yeah, no, tough one,
Wade Miley's a guy that right now is a bet on. He's not on my list, but that's a guy that right now you don't really have a lot of problem when you're using him as you like a team when you like Baltimore, and like you said before, Donnie, they have that bullpen, they have a good lineup. Spartan King, welcome. Kate Edwards, Bobby, Jason, Seth Hagen, our boy. Kyle, what up? Welcome. A couple more: Alex Wood, Dallas Keuchel, and James Paxton for obvious reasons. Donnie, all those guys, I definitely look for. Keuchel has something to prove off kind of a tough year last year with that team. They're going to need him to be an absolute titan, and I think he will be.
Yeah, look for them to make a move, Jeff. We always talk about their pitching staff as a whole. Look for them to make a move at the deadline, and if they do, and that lineup continues to crank, watch out, man.
Yet another tough outing for Cody Allen. This guy literally has the bases loaded every 9th inning he pitches. It's really amazing. I mean,
he does. He walks on the edge. Remember, I mean, you probably might be too young to remember even the Philadelphia Philly, Mitch Williams, wild thing. I mean, if he wasn't coming out walking the first batter every time he started a game, it wasn't. That's what he needed to do. You might as well just, 4 balls outside, just put the guy on first base. Some guys just need to walk on that edge and that tight.
And I'll have to do a little research and try to get this, but like from a closer standpoint, when you have a whip of 1.25, that's not good.
No,
right?
You're right about that. Absolutely.
It doesn't seem good. And Cody Allen.
Traffic on the bases, you're going to pay for it. That's what's going to happen. Is that game over?
Game over. Ryan Goins' first pitch.
Big dog, man. Big dog comes,
Not a blown save, but he could not get the hold here.
Looks like the over-under closes at 7.5 too. Vegas was pretty close on that one.
Yeah, totally. Donnie, we move on. What are some pitchers you like to bet on?
Pitchers that I like to bet on, I came from a different perspective in this one as opposed to, saying a pitcher. Like, we'll get to another one down the road, maybe tomorrow night or so. We'll go over pitchers that we would look to back in, like, you need a 1-game scenario or pitchers that you're scared of in a 1-game scenario. We'll have some fun with that tomorrow night. But tonight I wanted to take a look at some value pitchers. And even looking, Jeff, at my Philadelphia Phillies, there's only one guy on that staff that you can back. The Phillies stink right now. But sometimes you have to find value in some of these lower level pitchers. And that's Jeremy Hellickson. He's been very good keeping the Phillies in games, going, longer distances than what you're finding the past couple of days with the young kids out there. And it's all about value. If you get Hellickson on the mound and he's on the road, he might be catching plus 125, plus 130. If he's going to be at home, he might be a little bit less, pick him in that type of scenario. So there's value, and I would back Jeremy Hellickson. Also, Jeff, the two kids in Colorado, Sensatella and Freeland right now, not because they're in Coors, and you know me, I like to stay away from Coors, but if I was into backing a Coors type of environment, those guys are getting some pretty good numbers and some pretty good lines, similar to what you were seeing today. Number 4 on my list, Jeff, which I wasn't even paying attention to, is Wade Miley right now. The line that you would get with a solid team behind him is worth backing Wade Miley at this point. And the last guy I'm going to bring up, Jeff, the MVP of Major League Baseball through the first quarter of the season, Andrew Triggs.
Hey, listen, I don't hate it. I just like to break your balls, man.
That's why I play it up. That's what I do. I even play it up even more. You know what I mean? Just because I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah. No, he's had a good year so far, and they sure as hell need it, Donnie. The Oakland Athletics are a bad team, but hey, nice job from Andrew Triggs. He has pitched well. So
yeah, Jeff, how about the Oakland? Let's talk about the Oakland Athletics for a moment here. I mean, I love the uniform getup. They get no fans at their stadium. I try to root for them as the underdog. But let's talk about Billy Beane a couple years ago, having one of the best teams in Major League Baseball and just throwing, wind to the fire, getting rid of Cespedes, trading for some pitchers, and they get outed. And it's a shame versus Kansas City in that one-game playoff they lost, which Lester was fantastic. But they were on the cusp of doing some really special things and just fire-sold the team and operating like the lowest of the lowest. Like they operate worse than Tampa Bay, it seems like to me, that team.
Yeah, and look, they made a movie out of him, though. So, I mean, he's got to be doing something.
Yeah, he won. So he won then, right? Yeah.
But, yeah, they blew their load on Sonny Gray. They think he's the cat's meow, I guess. But, yeah, you look at that team. Josh Reddick, Josh Donaldson, Yoenis Cespedes. They had a lot of good players.
It was a fun team. It was a really good team. Best that maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe just the American League, but at one point had the best record in the American League that year as well.
Yeah, and I remember, their bullpen was real good. Their starting pitcher rotation. I mean, they had Pomerantz, and Sonny Gray was a Cy Young kind of pitcher. Jason Hamill was still really good. Zamarja was
Who was their staff? It was Lester. Was Samardzija still there? Or was he?
Yeah,
they traded Addison Russell for Samardzija. Who was the other big guy they had besides Lester as a pitcher?
I think it was Tommy Malone, honestly. I mean, Tommy Malone was really good at that point. Yeah, he was still a good pitcher. They had Scott Kazmir, too. I remember they got him from, I think, Tampa.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on that, because I know they had a couple hammers there. Where how they wanted to go against and basically outpitch you is why they gave up Cespedes.
Yeah, Scott Kazmir was an all-star for them back.
Hamill's on that team. Dylan's right. Yeah, Jason Hamill was actually a good pitcher at that time.
Yeah, Jason Hamill now, he almost made the fade list.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely want to kind of keep a list. Keep a list, kind of stick with the same guys, because over the course of the year, it's going to be something where you're looking to make money, long term. How about the Capitals? I thought they were the lock of the century. Yeah, a lot of people were on that. Who has the lowest payroll in the major leagues?
I think it's got to be San Diego Padres, right? I mean, they're under like $30 million. No, it can't be the Rays.
Okay,
probably.
I think you're right. Tampa. I think I remember hearing about San Diego being like, I think someone in baseball has like a bigger.
Kershaw was worth more than their entire payroll.
Yeah, it's definitely San Diego.
And how far are they south, Jeff? 50 miles south of LA? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it's a nice place to play, man.
Beautiful.
Who wouldn't want to? Have you ever been to San Diego, Donnie?
I've never been to
Milwaukee
San Diego,
Brewers, actually. Donnie, the Rays actually have a lower payroll. The Padres are third worst.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
They have some. Really?
The Brewers have the lowest payroll at $61 million.
No, that's impossible, Jeff. The San Diego has a payroll under $30 million.
I say.
Yeah, but how does Clayton Kershaw make more than their whole payroll this year? That doesn't even make sense. Then that's like $30 million.
Is it not the Brewers, Kyle?
No, there's no way. Brian Braun makes like $15 million. There's no way.
Listen, I'm just pointing out. I'm pretty sure it's the Brewers. If I'm looking at the right
Padres.
Why would I fucking?
Kazmir, there you go too. Kyle's right. Kazmir's on that team was really good for the A's.
I just said that. I said he was an all-star.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Look, I sent you. It's 2017 payroll, according to spottrack.com, which tracks all that shit. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The leading payroll: Dodgers 245 million, Boston 201 million, Yankees 201 million. Phillies are 19th on that list, Donnie. But
actually, no, it's kind of interesting because I'm looking at that thing. Padres opening day payroll is 68.5 million, but only 31.5 million go to players no longer on the team. That must have been what it was.
okay, yeah, but according to like the actual total salary, the San Diego Padres are third worst.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. $31 million for the players they actually have now, so they're probably paying somebody's contract somewhere else.
But you look at like Donnie, the Brewers, like other than Ryan Braun, like who the hell do they pay on that team?
You're right about that. Yeah.
They literally have a bunch of like nobodies.
How can you operate with a $30 million payroll in Major League Baseball? How does Major League Baseball even let you get away with that? How does the union let you get away with that? So what are the Dodgers, like 240, and then the guy right down the road is $30 million in real money?
But like coming into the year, if you heard this lineup and you said to yourself, let me hear the Brewers lineup, and I'd say it's Broxton, Thames, Braun, Travis Shaw, Santana, Hernan Perez, Jet Bandy.
Yeah, you're right. No, when you go over the names like that, there are not a lot of big name guys.
Yeah, and Thames, I mean, what's he getting paid? A couple $100,000, you know?
No, they're like $1 million players apiece. Yeah, not much.
Yeah, baseball is one of those sports where if you have a good agent, though, you can get paid for a long fucking time. Look at Bobby Bonilla. I mean,
yeah, baseball is one of the interesting sports where you pay for past performance. Like when Pujols gets a deal at that magnitude, what was like 35 years old. I mean, you're paying the same thing with Ryan Howard. Like Ryan Howard's best days were past, and they give him 5 years, like $150 million or $120 million, whatever it was, and he was terrible. But you're paying over for past performance and years that it lapped over.
Yeah, and also, Donnie, remember this. I mean, if you know, in any sport, you know, you got to look at like the Cubs, like Rizzo or any rookie, you know, that was a rookie recently. They're not getting paid that much.
Yeah, Rizzo took a pretty one of those. If you remember with Tampa Bay when Longoria came up, they gave him one of those. We'll buy some of your free agent years, 5 years, like $35 million. They did that and stole Anthony Rizzo there. I mean, of course, it's nice to get like $40 million in your pocket, because you never know what's happening. That's a lot of money. I mean, you'll be a free agent later. So yeah,
you look at like Rizzo, he makes $5 million a year. Javier Baez, $521K. Bryant, $652K. John Lester, $20 million. So, you know, there's quite a difference there in age, you know, as far as what they're getting. Rizzo had cancer, so he wanted a long-term deal. Okay.
Yeah, the other one there with Bryant, the best part's going to be waiting on Scott Boras when Bryant comes up with the shenanigans that Chicago pulled last year by keeping him in the minor leagues through most of May. And he'll stick that one in the back of his crawl and say, you know what, you might have saved yourself, 1 year, but I'm going to like charge like $100 million for that year. It's going to be
He'll get paid. He's going to get paid.
Will. Damn right, he will.
Before we go, before we just end the show with some things, Donnie, do you see Brandon Graham might hold out for a new deal?
He says he's not going to do that, but honestly, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, can you fault him? If you're the best pass rusher on the team and he signed a very friendly deal, but that's not the Eagles' fault. You know what I mean? Joe Banner would probably tell him to go pound sand and trade him for a 7th rounder, but that's just par for the course these days. If the money is there and you can get it, they're going to try to go out and get it.
Am I the only one that will not celebrate Carson Wentz hunting? I don't think that should be celebrated at all. I don't know why.
Carson Wentz hunting knows that he's a man's man.
But it's not right. You're killing innocent animals. I don't
have a gun. I don't own a gun. I don't want to own a gun.
Hunting, Donnie,
I don't hunt. Yeah.
Why are we celebrating that he's doing that?
I mean, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's legal, I guess. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, but like people that go out and
Marlon's got a little bit of life here, Jeff. The bullpens we're talking about it. There's been stinking. Yelich leads off with a double. Against the Cardinals, man on second. Still got 2 runs to go, so I'm not really.
Who's in? Or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Kim Jong-un is on the mound. Correct.
By the way, Donnie, do you think zoos? Do you think they should be outlawed? I think zoos should.
See, I don't know if they should be outlawed because I actually think they help in the grand scheme of things with conservation. Like you get to go and see like a kangaroo, or and they say, hey, we have this wildlife here. It's in Africa, donate to it. I think it actually helps as almost like a science and learning type of thing. It's quite inhumane for the animal, though.
Why does a gorilla get killed because some kid climbed? I mean, that's not the gorilla's fault.
No,
The
you're
gorilla's
not going to
just
get
in
any
its
argument
natural.
from me on that. I mean, but weighing a human life in a gorilla in that type of environment, it's a shame that the stupid parent wasn't
Yeah.
watching the kid because who knows? I mean, can you picture this? I mean, the gorilla gets shot and everybody's up in arms. The gorilla shouldn't have got shot. I get that. But what happens if the gorilla falls down there and just pops the kid in half and pulls his head off? I mean, is that an extreme scenario? Yes, but that would have got a little bit more press than the other one, I guess.
I'll
They
tell you
didn't
what,
do anything.
Donnie. One of these young players that I really love is this kid up right now for the Marlins.
Ozuna?
I love this kid, Ozuna. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
nice
really like.
guy.
I really like him. Donnie, we have
They messed with him last year too, Jeff. They sent him down to the minor leagues to try to save a year ahead of him too. I mean, it's crazy,
yeah.
craziness.
Donnie, we have to know we have some solace now in the Matt Harvey saga. Looks like we found a reason why he was acting the way he was,
Yeah.
and now all makes
And
sense.
I would have been too.
Yeah, but then I also kind of thought about it. I said to myself, you know what, Matt Harvey, you're very rich. You're
Decent looking guy, New York
Yep.
City, getting paid.
You got a Greenwich Village apartment. Why are you fucking clowning out over a woman, man? Go out.
I don't know. Again, though,
some-
with these pictures that you see, Adriana Lima,
Oh,
that
yeah.
might be worth clowning about, man. Whew.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of rude the way she handled it. I mean, why not just say, listen, Matt, I'm just not really feeling it. You block him on Facebook and you're seen with another dude. And he sees it on the internet.
That's pain.
Man.
Yes, I mean, take that to your real life right there. The girl you're sweating, you're down with, you're seeing her, you're hoping she's not seeing anybody else, and then she's out with like some, Julian Edelman one night, and he's just like saying, yeah, I'm about to get back with her. Like, you're crushed. You're sitting home crushed, man.
It's definitely brutal. But I mean, look, Julian Edelman's just like a better looking guy than him and more successful. So
he's Edelman's a cool dude, and again, that gets in your crawl. Like, why? I thought I was good looking. I'm in the Dark Knight of New York, and I'm losing, this supermodel, this girl. Man, she is smoking though too.
But how about her? Like, she literally's dated like
everybody. Good for her, man. Yes, spread the wealth.
Yeah, listen, I think there's chicks way hotter than her personally, but then again, I have a weird taste. But as far as models are concerned, she's definitely very, very hot for sure.
Very nice to look at.
Again, by the way, do you believe that she's a virgin? Do you believe that?
Who said that?
She has. She's come out and said that.
Like Leo been with her. There's no way she could be a virgin.
She's according to, and again, this was a lot long ago. I don't know if it's changed. She did get engaged, so maybe that changed. But okay, so she has gotten married. She married a Serbian basketball player in 2008. So, but in 2006, she told GQ sex is for after marriage, and that she.
Well, that's 2006, though. Same thing with Britney Spears was telling people, and she was not.
But Donnie, what I'm saying is, if she had never gotten married, though, she would still be a virgin.
No way. That's always the popular ploy to be like, oh, I'm so wholesome, I'm a model.
She went out with Derek Jeter too, if you remember.
Everybody, she's been around the block. Her and Minka Kelly. I mean, man, you can get all over those guys.
Minka Kelly's way hotter than her, I think. I don't know about
what's that.
Minka Kelly's way hotter than Lima.
Minka Kelly or Lima?
Who would you pick? I'd go Lima. I'd go Minka. I go Minka Kelly.
I don't know. That's just fantastic and fantastic 1A.
He was banging too many chicks. Yeah, well, it doesn't seem like it. Looks like he's crying over.
He lives the life. I mean, come on. Again, we talk about pitchers. Pitch every 5 day, play golf 4 days. What a freaking life.
But Donnie, how about? I was thinking about this. I really need like an TMZ reporter. Think if you would have got that information before he pitched on Friday or whenever that was. That
he was heartbroken. That's back in the day when you watched the Jimmy the Greek would know, like when the high school or the college quarterback broke up with his girlfriend. You know what I mean?
This shit happened before he was supposed to pitch, and he had to go out and pitch that night. I mean, imagine knowing that, dude. Why are all these girls dating A-Rod? I don't know, because he's probably
got money, decent-looking guy. Yeah, they don't care if he juiced up. What the hell they care?
Spanish. He's not a dick either. He's a nice guy and a great hero in baseball.
Who? A-Rod? I had to look at the screen for you for it.
All Yankee fans know he's a hero.
Yeah. I always like the best part. I always used to like Jeff because again, I always rooted against Boston. I didn't want to see him win a championship. This is back in the 2000s when they finally got over the hump, beat the Yankees in that 3-0 series there. But I used to always root for A-Rod just because the Yankees the Boston fans would always come out and say, he's not a real Yankee. Derek Jeter's a real Yankee. Meanwhile, Boston fans hate Derek Jeter with they'd give up their firstborn, just to get Derek Jeter out of the league. But that was always their comeback. Like, he's not a real Yankee.
Well, yeah, I remember Artie Lang used to talk about that all the time. He hated A-Rod. Artie, when he was on Howard Stern, he used to
Come
hate
on.
A-Rod. Yeah, A-Rod, he's an interesting cat. But you know who he's dating now, right?
Who?
A-Rod.
Who's the? Oh, is it not Madonna? Who's the?
He's dating J-Lo.
J-Lo, right? Correct. Yeah.
How about that? All right, Donnie. Before we go here, we have the moron of the day, and I got to ask, who would do this at this point in your life, at this time in America? Why you would think this would be okay and you would get away with this? A Bronx teacher, Donnie, was canned after she ripped a hijab off the head of a Bronx second grader, officials said.
Ripped the what off?
A hijab.
Oh, gotcha.
This 8-year-old kid, by the way, a substitute teacher removed her hijab after she was misbehaving in class. I mean, I got to ask this woman, like, do you not read the paper? Like, why would you? When I see stuff like this, I have to wonder, like, just because they're teachers, you would think they're smart. Why? How would this ever cross your mind?
I don't know. I guess you thought it was like taking the cell phone away or something. I don't know why anybody would do that. I don't know why you would put your hands on any kid anyway. And that's in that circumstance, you're going to get blamed for stuff like that.
Amazing. Yeah. Just crazy. She was fired from her $176 a day. It's $176 a day to be a substitute teacher in New York, by the way.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Get some hazard pay. It depends where, I guess, I don't know where she was at.
Some hazard pay. And by the way, Donnie, we didn't even talk about this. It was kind of a story that went kind of beneath us. We didn't really ever talk about it, but I read into it and it was not intriguing, but it was like interesting, fascinating. Yeah. Did you read the story about that Tennessee teacher that kidnapped his student?
Yes, and took her out to like California for
they were found in some like mountain cabin.
Yeah, empty cabin where he was like working. Yeah, just some freaks out there, man.
And like how they caught him, it was fascinatingly weird, how it all happened. But yep, Bonilla's still getting paid. Yep, definitely. That's the best contract I've ever seen.
Agent was pretty smart in that one. Most players want their money up front. He said no, and Bernie Madoff was making the Mets so much money that they figured they could actually make money off Bonilla's money, and they were wrong on that one, so they lost there too.
By the way, Donnie, I was dead right. I told you Detroit, there was no way they were going to cover, and they didn't.
What was the score at the end of 2-1?
Yep. Typical. But Donnie, we're going to go. Do you want to stay on until your game's over, or?
No. Lombardozzi just drilled one down the line, was fouled by about 6 inches with 2 men on and 2 out. So that's about the night. And again, Stanton comes up, 2 on, nobody out, base hit in the gap. It's a tie game, but of course he grounds into the double play. That's about it. That's all I got. We'll be back on actually the day off tomorrow. I love it. Would you take him over Buster Posey right now? No, not since he double played. No,
not if
Buster Posey would have put a ball in the gap for us there.
By the way, Donnie, interesting developments out in Anaheim. 1-0 Oilers with the lead at the end of one. So 2 game 7
teams.
Wait, there were 2 game 7s tonight?
Yeah, 2 game 7s tonight. Yes,
that's crazy. That doesn't happen too much, I guess. Oh yeah, last point, Donnie. You heard about Brandon Roy?
Got shot, didn't he? Trying to protect some kids.
How about that? What an amazing story. His niece, he jumped on top of her. That's Brandon Roy, a good professional, a fantastic head coach. He will be the coach at Washington pretty soon. The next couple of years, you can bank on that. Washington University needs a new coach, and I think it's going to be Brandon Roy here in a couple of years. Everyone have a great night. We'll be back Friday with the right side of campus at 12:30. Yep. We'll also be back with the late night on campus as well. We have some cool things coming up, Donnie, starting, I believe, next week. We're not going to tell you what they are, though.
Yes, things on the horizon.
Some very interesting things for the right side of campus. So I am a secret keeper, though, and I will not divulge those secrets. But sourcing your own food, hunting is actually better for the environment. Yeah, maybe in like the Stone Age. At this point, though, you're just killing innocent animals. Deer, okay, there's obviously an influx of deer, but we shouldn't be killing elephants and things like that. There's no need for it. Everyone have a great night. Donnie, anything else to say before we go?
Nope, that's it. See you Friday, folks.
Have a great night.